It's a Top Dice special. Click like and click subscribe. Hi, and welcome to a Top Dice special. And I've got Dave, the captain, with me here today. So, Dave, you've got some things you want to talk about. Go for it.
Yes. So thank you for the introduction. So obviously, I go by David. Dave, the captain, is my online moniker. I am the captain of the Fervent Drift. And essentially, what is the Fervent Drift? Well, the Fervent Drift is currently on a mission. And our mission is essentially to make tabletop role playing as a whole more accessible to communities, giving people resources, rewarding and thanking GMs of our own community as well. So we are going to be having three arms, two head and two arms. The top is obviously Fervent Drift Productions Limited, and then we're going to have a publishing arm. And the publishing arm is going to be aiming at making fairer deals for indie authors, indie creators, supplement writers, because I'm in the process of writing my own book, which is a discussion for another day. And I was looking at publishing deals and all the rest of it, and they're very predatory. They're very exploitative. And I wanted to put an end to that, not just for myself, but for others as well. And then we've got the World Masters Guild, which is going to be registered as a CIC, a community interest company. The community interest company is going to be putting back into the community again, making resources accessible, making giving people the ability and the confidence to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
We will be doing this in a number of ways. We're doing giveaways. So last month we done $40 in drive-through RPG vouchers. Not a massive amount. I am in talks with Smiteworks from Fantasy Grounds to hopefully get something off the ground with them as well. And fingers crossed, they've got a big announcement coming this weekend. And if it's what I think it is, which I can't say anything about just in case I'm wrong, it's going to be a good one. Um, and then on top of that, we are going to be doing workshops, GM workshops, player workshops, acting workshops, workshops, writing workshops, all to try and help people build their confidence within this space. A space that has historically not had the best reputation for welcoming in newcomers. And I say that historically because things have got better over the last 5, 10 years, I've noticed, but 10, 5, 10, 15 years ago, um, it was not the same ballpark. It was a
No.
very sort of protected community, and for good reason in some aspects as well.
Yeah. So quite a few things there, and you said three different arms there, or two arms and one head. So we'll return to the head actually. So tell us a bit about the head.
So the head, Fervent Drift Productions Limited, is me reformed. So I used to go by SS Adventurer Productions, where I was doing streaming, social media content, professional dungeon mastering, and all these kinds of things.
Cool.
All of which I still do. But SS Adventurer had some problems, and I always had a problem with it when I took the name. I thought maybe it would grow on me, and after 3, 4 years, I was like, no, this has got to go. I still keep Bill and Ben around. Bill and Ben were my Chinese dragons that were wrapping around the anchor. So they are inserted firmly into one of my worlds. But I've spent well over 12,000 hours in world building and design alone. And when I moved over to Fervent Drift Productions, it felt right. It's more memorable. Like people are going to remember the Fervent Drift. And why a fervent drift? Because people hear drift, they think aimlessly wandering. Hence the anchor, because I had been aimlessly wandering through swathes of shall I do this? Shall I do that? What shall I do? Now I've dropped anchor. Now I am sat in the middle of a vast ocean, hoping the land slowly comes to me rather than chasing for the next piece of land.
Well, there we go. That kind of sums things up. So you said there you've got quite a bit of experience. So when did you actually sort of start role playing and get involved with games?
So I started back around 2013. and I went, do you know what? I really want to play D&D.
Yeah.
I went on to Roll20 as everyone was at that
Yeah.
point. I applied for a few games, wasn't getting any hits, and then I was seeing like 60, 70, 80 players applying to playing games. I eventually got in with one GM who was running Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, and in my brain I went, "Oh, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, that must be better than Dungeons and Dragons." And the GM was every Reddit horror story and worse. Um, and I won't go too much into that because I'm not one to sort of start besmirching people online, but it gave me that, right, I have two choices. I can walk away from the game entirely if this is what it's always going to be like, or I can start changing it. And I decided to start changing it. So I
Good.
got some friends together. I pulled up Osric because I was familiar with AD&D. I pulled up Osric, the old school role playing index compendium, um, and had a blast with it. And the more I played, the more I got to know people. I then moved very swiftly onto streaming my games around the same time Critical Role was taking off.
Yeah.
Um, Ended up with two, three, 400 followers at the time,
Yeah.
50 to 60 concurrent viewers every single night. And I was doing really well. And then I saw it starting to drop off, so I jumped ship. Um, and then I used to just do it for fun, but I noticed there was a very, very glaring problem, and that was the rotating seats, the lack of commitment. People wanted to be a part of something but didn't want to put in any effort.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I got very put off by this. I came out of the community for quite a while, and I just focused on world building, designing worlds, designing characters, designing all this kind of stuff. And I stepped back to the table. Same thing happened. I had 3 seats over a 6 week period that I had 12 players sitting in. Um, And then my partner, funnily enough, who has absolutely no interest in TTRPGs, turned around to me and goes, "Have you ever heard of a professional dungeon master?" I went, "What's that?" I went, "Well, somebody at my work does it." I went, "Okay." So I looked into it and I started, and I've now got 5 solid tables that have been going for some time. Um, and honestly, paid games, in my opinion, can, not does, but can bring up quality. And this brings me on to my next mission, actually, funnily enough. So part of the World Masters Guild ethos
Yeah.
is crew before the coin, the people before the money. Um, and I wouldn't have been able to start it if it wasn't for my professional games. But there is a serious lack of any form of quality control across communities when it comes to people wanting to GM or be GMs. And I don't want to gatekeep or tell anyone they're not good enough to GM. So, how am I going to solve this problem? Well, I can verify GMs. I can have an entire community of people say, actually, do you know what? This GM's all right. This GM's a good GM. And I can bump them up. I can give them that recognition. I can say, look, you're doing a really good job. People think you're great. Let's put you in our featured list or our verified list.
Yeah.
Um, and then people know if they go to those GMs, they're getting a quality GM. And it's again not nagging on the new GMs either. I've recently had somebody whose first time GMing was only a couple of weeks ago, and they've already moved up into our featured GM list because they hit such
Yeah.
a good note with all the players. They were raving about the game, they were raving to us, and we're like, do you want to be one of the first? Um, so it's not by any means hard, but it's at least quality controlled to that extent. And it's also, we have requirements for professional GMs within the community to actually earn our trust before they start charging our community members for games.
That's a good model. I'll put that out there straight away. I think the pay to play is a whole new different subject, but I certainly like
Hmm.
the model that you're putting forward there. It sounds very community focused. I'll
Oh,
pop it
absolutely.
there.
Our community, the World Masters Guild, um, it it is a, as I say, a community interest company. So any money that the World Masters Guild make, 65% of that money gets reinvested back into the community, back into projects for the community,
Yeah.
back into resources for the community. Um, and the staff take a total of 35% between them, and we've got 5 members of staff. So we're not even looking at taking a huge chunk of change home with us. We are literally just saying, look, we are doing work
Yeah.
and we need to live and we need to survive.
Yeah.
But everything else is going to be going back into that community.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So we've got that angle. Um, you mentioned as well about publishing as well. You're looking at getting
Mm.
into the publishing side as well, which is notoriously difficult to get into and be successful.
So the publishing arm, Fantasy Drift RPG and Fantasy Limited, I believe very much so that we can smash down walls, not just
Yeah.
break down walls, we can smash them down. How are we going to do that? Well, for a start, a lot of publishers have very predatory practices. These predatory practices are things like 70-30 royalty splits to the publisher, extremely high setup costs, and a number of other really sort of unfavorable deals for the author.
Yeah.
Now, an author can spend years writing a book, take it to a publisher, and they go, yeah, we want 90% of your book. And you think, okay, but why? Oh, well, we're going to do your marketing for you. Okay, they can do that themselves now. Marketing a book is very easy to do now with TikTok and everything else.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, well, we can print it for you. Yeah, that's also really easy to do with a print on demand service.
Yeah. Good old Lulu or similar.
Yeah, or drive through, another one.
Yeah.
Um, so why am I going to start up a publishing arm myself when people can do it themselves? Well, because a lot of people don't really know the legal. They don't know the ways around it. They don't have print deals. They don't have because if you print on demand, you lose a chunk of change to the print on demand
You do.
service,
Yeah.
rather than like a bulk printout. Now, at the moment, we don't have a bulk printout deal. However, if somebody was to come to me and go, look, I want to get 500 of these printed, I would look at the whole group's like finances and see which group, which partner can invest, which and go, okay, so you want 500 of these printed. That's fine. We will expect some kind of upfront deposit payment. Not going to take the full payment off of you. And then we're going to make a really fair split on the royalties
Good.
and work out is this going to make us money in 3, 4, 5 years?
Yeah.
I'm
That's
not
the way.
even
Yeah.
looking at I'm not even looking at it making me money in the next or us, sorry, us money in the next 6 months. I'm looking make me money in 3 years and we've got a deal.
Yeah.
And how do publishers make that money? Well, they keep churning out content, they keep churning out books. And I am very much targeting the fantasy and the TTRPG spaces with
Brilliant.
this.
Good.
I've already had one gentleman come to me and say, will you publish my poems for me? And I said, well, tell me about them. And he said, well, at the moment, I just want it published and printed for friends and family. I said, okay, that's fine. And he said he got quoted for a single book print, £300 for publish and print for one copy. I looked into it. I can do hit. And I said to him, I can do you 10 copies for yourself and the mandatory 5 that you have to keep behind. I said, I can do that for 170.
Bit of a difference.
And that's not me making any money other than layout and design.
Yeah. Bit of a difference there. I've been very lucky in the games I've had published.
Mm.
I worked with a couple of companies. The best one by far was Cake Bread and Walton. Small independents, and I've had a few things published through them, and I've had a really good experience. But I am aware that that's not necessarily the majority situation. I
Mm.
have heard and I have had some offers made from other areas and other organisations and companies where you mentioned 90%, 10%. Well, I actually had one that wasn't even that good. So there you go. Yeah, I know.
So yeah, I mean, as I say, we are looking at like on our if a creator wants to put up some kind of investment towards their product, we can do it at an 80-20 split in their favor.
Yeah,
The most I will look at taking is 35%, and that'll be 65% in their favor. And that's only if they can only put up like a bare minimum
yeah,
investment, which is understandable. It's not accessible for everyone.
yeah,
So, a bare minimum investment or even no investment at all, if we
yeah,
believe it's going to be a really, really solid product, and then help them push their product rather than us pushing their product. Give them the marketing skills, give them the sales skills, because then you're not just doing the job for them, you're actually giving them skills in which they can
exactly.
then take forward themselves. And you go, there you go, wasn't so hard.
Yeah. It's
And
the old adage of why give someone a fish to eat when you could give them a net or a fishing
mm,
rod and show them how to actually use it. And therefore, rather than just a one shot that they eat that day, they've got something there they can actually sort of use for life and hopefully thrive with.
yeah. And as I say, this is going to be the whole ethos of the entirety of Fervent Drift. It's going to be crew before the coin.
Good.
Because without the players that I have at my tables who pay me a reasonable sum to run games for them with my expertise and background in performing arts, English literature, and like as I say, 12,000 hours of world building. Um, Without them, I wouldn't have been able to start these companies.
Yeah. Well, there we
And
go.
their faith in me is putting faith back into their communities.
Right. Well, what we need to do, we need to get the word out for you. That's the simple thing.
Absolutely.
So again, you can make use of this video any which way you want. You can edit it once it's actually out there. You'll have free reign. It's basically as much you as it is us, and that's
Yeah.
the thing with Top Dice and also the UK tabletop role playing game group on Facebook.
Yes.
It's all about communities and building that
Yeah.
side. I'll certainly share further information with you down the lines of contacts that we actually sort of have.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to sort of seeing how this actually sort of develops. So, what's the first thing that we're actually going to see from you?
So the first thing has already started, and that's the World Masters Guild.
Yeah,
That is literally discord.gg/, World Masters Guild, all one word. And that is the community focused in development and
yeah,
growing very quickly. We've had over 100 members in just under a month.
good,
And then the next thing will be the Small Book of Goblin Kin, which is going to come out through Fervent Drift RPG and Fantasy
excellent.
Limited. If somebody doesn't have something they want published first,
Well,
but
I,
that's
I'm going to say I've actually had a brief sort of uh, advance preview of this particular book or parts of it, and I must say it looks really, really good. I was very, very impressed. So there you go,
oh, that's
straight
high
away from me.
praise.
Yeah, art layout, it looked very, very professional. So hats off to you on that one. If that's the standard that you're setting, then that bar is going to be quite high.
Well, I mean, that's my own personal perfectionist
Yeah,
standard. But if people do have something they want to get published, I am more than happy. If I look at it and I go, actually, there's some quality content here, but there's some issues. I'll feed back those issues and I'll bounce backwards and forwards with them. If they then decide, actually, can you do the layout work for me? Can we use your IP? Can we use your like logo and whatever else? Yes, certainly. Let's hash out a deal. Let's make this
yeah,
fair.
yeah. Well, that's what it's actually all about, and it's actually helping. There's a lot of very interesting ideas out there that people find very difficult to actually get into a workable product. But there's so much quality information that's actually sort of there. You look at it, and with a bit of editing and a bit of support, it could really sort of make the grade. And it's
Yeah,
just that little bit of polishing that you guys can do that will actually get it there.
yeah, absolutely. And also, I am going to do another quick shout out for somebody else, and that's Sergo Bad at Art on Instagram. The reason I'm saying that is because he drew this incredible logo behind me.
It's
Um,
it's good. Yeah,
and And not only that, he's done all the artwork for me on the goblins.
Right.
He done
Well,
all that artwork, and he's incredible.
right. Well, I think what we need to do, we need you to keep us up to date with what's going on, if that's okay.
Oh, absolutely.
And if we maybe have some regular keep in touches where we can actually get further
Hmm.
updates out there, and maybe even join us potentially for chats with other people and maybe some other community members. And
Oh,
you
I'd
can
love
actually
to.
pitch ideas to them and take part on that side as well. You'd be very, very welcome. I know and understand time is very limited for you,
Hmm.
but the offer is certainly there of support. Um, and I really do look forward to seeing what else is actually going to sort of come through from yourselves and what it's going to look like. If you could get the details to me of what you're currently doing again with the
Yeah,
DMing, then I'll
yeah,
gladly
yeah.
stick the information actually up in the channel
Yeah.
as part of this video, and we'll begin getting the advertising as such out there for you, and just making people aware in the community as to what's actually happening, what you're doing, and how you're going about it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we I would absolutely love for Top 20 Dice actually to come into the Fervent Drift themselves, see what we're about, experience what we're about, and perhaps we can hash something out to partner with you guys in one way or another.
Well, you're always welcome to sort of join us in whichever way you actually sort of want. We quite independent and very simply,
Mm.
we're here to encourage community, and you
Yeah.
seem to embody community, which is exactly what we're targeting. So happy days, I think. Yeah.
How's
Right.
that song? How's that song go? Oh, happy days.
Days, there you go, straight away. So there's so many crossovers actually there. I'll certainly see what I can actually do to support, and I'm sure the community will actually sort of pick up on that as well. Okay, so
Wonderful.
what we'll do, we'll wrap things up there. So that's a thank you from me, and I really look forward to sort of seeing what's new. And remember, any Saturday you can actually get yourself or one of your colleagues can stick things up on the Facebook page, the Facebook group,
Mhm.
and advertise what you're actually sort of doing. And if you want to do it on other days, if you have a word with one of the admins, we'll certainly see about getting something slipped in and getting some permissions there for you. All right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Lovely.
Okay. Thank you very much, David.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate it.
Cheers. Have a good day. Good day.
And you.